Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Real Estate Talk. I'm your host, Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We are live this rainy spring Oregon morning, and I actually kind of like it. It kind of works well for me, this type of weather. It's just nice. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit of rain keeps my grass growing and my water bill down, and I think it's a great thing. We are broadcasting live from the Albany KGAL K-Show radio studios, the Valley Talk studios at Silver Falls Dermatology, the old library building in Albany. Folks, a reminder, it is almost lunchtime, and if you're hungry, you want to taste on us. And a taste on us is a $10 Quiznos gift certificate to the first person this hour who emails dave@kgal.com and mentions Taste on Us. That Quiznos gift certificate, good for the Albany Quiznos store. And again, congratulations to Dave, who I think just got married this weekend. So great stuff. I do want to take a few seconds here at the outset of the show to remind you all about Homes for Heroes. Homes for Heroes is a national program that offers rewards to our local heroes for their services when buying, selling, or refinancing real estate. When a hero works with an affiliated real estate professional or a lender, they will receive their reward from the national organization of Homes for Heroes after they close. Heroes in our community include active and retired military, police and peace officers, first responders, nurses, and other medical professionals, and teachers. If you are a hero, or if you know a hero who serves our community in one of these areas, or you have a recommendation for somebody who should be recognized, send them to homesforheroes.com and have them sign up. Service deserves its rewards. And as a quick side note, I actually was just put in contact with a teacher who is relocating to our area. They're going to be teaching over in the Lebanon School District. They contacted me, and the very first thing we did was get them enrolled in the Homes for Heroes program. And it's going to be wonderful to work with them and get them started in their search for a home. And I'm excited to do that. So remember, Homes for Heroes. Today, I got a guest in the studio with me. It's Alan Schell, the owner-operator of Apex Landscape Maintenance. And we're going to be talking with Alan in the next segment. We got a couple of listener questions for him, and we're going to get some really good information about this time of the year, things that you should be doing, and some good tips for you for home landscape maintenance. So before we jump into that, let us do the Real Estate Showcase. And the Real Estate Showcase is brought to you by Hayden, or is going to feature Hayden Homes today, because Real Estate Talk is now sponsored in part by Hayden Homes.
Since 1989, Hayden Homes has been building homes of quality and value in the Northwest. Hi, this is John Ford with Hayden Homes. Your beautiful new Hayden home is waiting for you right here in Albany. With 6 communities and countless floor plans to choose from, you are sure to find one to call your home. Move in today to one of our ready-built homes or personalize your own. Hayden Homes has been building in Albany since 2002 and truly is your hometown builder. Prices start in the upper 130s. Stop by one of our model homes at Hannah Estates or North Creek and see for yourself how Hayden Homes offers quality-built homes at an exceptional value. For more information, visit www.hayden-homes.com today. Hi, this is John Ford with Hayden Homes. Today I've got 2 homes I'd like to feature from our North Albany communities, North Creek and North Point. Our first home is located at 2646 Red Oak Street, and that's at our North Creek community. The Hudson floor plan is a well-designed mid-sized home at 1,575 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. This home is a spacious entry hallway and expansive living room, adjoining dining area and open kitchen with ample cupboard storage and plenty of counter space. Spacious and private master suite offers a dual vanity bathroom with stand-up shower and large walk-in closet, while the other 2 bedrooms share the main bath. Other features in this home include black GE appliances, cherry stain birch cabinets staggered in the kitchen, raised bath vanities in both bathrooms, glass subway tile backsplash throughout, gas fireplace, front yard landscape with underground sprinklers, and so much more. For just priced at $187,990, you can have this home today. HOA dues are $200 a year. To get to North Creek Community, Take Highway 20 west towards Corvallis. Head north, that's a right on North Albany Road. West, that's a left on Gibson Hill Road. North, that's another right on Crocker Lane. And then west, that's a left onto Cluster Oak Avenue. My second home is at our North Point community, located at 957 Belden Lane, Northwest. The Metolius floor plan is a spacious home at 1,787 square feet, two-story home with 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. The Metolius offers a spacious living room, adjoining dining area, and open kitchen. The master suite has raised dual sink vanity bathroom and large walk-in closet. Upstairs laundry room as well. This home sits on a corner lot and has an alley access garage. Features in this home include black GE appliances, birch cabinets staggered in the kitchen, raised vanities in the bathrooms, granite counters with ceramic tile backsplash in the kitchen, gas fireplace, front yard landscape with underground sprinklers. Priced at only $189,990. The HOA dues at this community are $78 a month, which also include yard maintenance. Again, that is 957 Belden Lane Northwest. To get to North Point, take Highway 20 west, turn north on Northwest Spring Hill Drive, west on North Point Drive, north on Belden Lane.
And thank you, John Ford. That's John Ford from Hayden Homes, and Hayden Homes is a sponsor in part of Real Estate Talk. If you'd like any information on any of the participating homes in the showcase every week, you can contact me right here, Real Estate Talk at KGAL.com. Okay, the other place you can get information on, I want to say it really quick, is the Real Estate Talk Facebook fan page. You can get there very easily. 2 ways. 1, go to KGAL.com. Click on the link for Real Estate Talk. There is a link for it there. Or if you're on Facebook, go to Facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. We have statistics there for you. We have a list. When we know who our next, when I know who my next guest is, I'll post that, and you can also post your listener questions there. If you're not currently working with a real estate professional and you'd like a market analysis done on a property, whether you're looking to sell that property or to buy that property, because remember, knowledge is power, folks. You can get that market analysis done at no obligation. Just email the address, realestatetalk@kgal.com. I'd be happy to do that for you, but ultimately I would like to be on your team. And if you want an agent that's 100% on your side, that's my commitment to you. I work with only one client in any real estate negotiation, so send me an email today. Finally, this segment, if you are beginning the home buying process, please contact Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services, www.nhs.org, and take the homebuyer education class. It is worth it. It qualifies you for some loan programs. It qualifies you for some down payment assistance programs, and it's a great educational program to help you know what you're getting into when buying a home. For you, my faithful radio listeners, if you're not currently working with another agent, and that's the only thing I ask, sign up, take the class. Email me at realestatetalk@kgal.com. Let me know the date, and I'll pick up the course tuition for you. Okay, my guest today, Alan Shell of Apex Landscape Maintenance. We will be right back and talking to him about everything you wanted to know with regard to landscape. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Since 1988, Mike McHenry, owner of McHenry Remodeling, has been putting big smiles on satisfied customers' faces. Here's one now. See? Now that's a grin from ear to ear. Mike McHenry has 25 years of experience with kitchens, bathrooms, decks, rot repair, roofing, re-siding, and more. As a trade ally contractor of Energy Trust of Oregon, McHenry Remodeling can help with cash incentives and state energy tax credits to improve the energy efficiency of your home. Call McHenry Remodeling now, 541-981-1203. It's time you smiled again. CCB 189601.
You've read his humor. Now witness it in real life.
We got it just for camping, you know. The school bus, not the bear.
The zany, family-friendly stories of Patrick McManus come to life this Saturday at the Whiteside in downtown Corvallis. One night only, watch Tim Behrens perform the laugh-out humor of McManus at the Whiteside in Corvallis. Doors open at 6:45. Purchase tickets in advance online at brownpapertickets.com or at the door if there's room. All proceeds support the Whiteside Theater Foundation in its ongoing effort to restore the Whiteside.
When you look out across the Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. Willamette Community Bank is here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, this is Sue Kalina, Relationship Manager. Willamette Community Bank provides an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that?
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Michelle with Servco. We have a very good crew at Servco. My guys get along very well together. They're very good workers and they're proud of themselves. They do a good job. They represent themselves well in the community. I would trust them with my grandmother. When we hire guys, that's one of the qualities I look for in them. Is this somebody I could send to my grandmother's house or to my mother's house and feel comfortable that they're going to take care of her in the way that I would want her to be taken care of?
Servco features licensed and bonded plumbers. Call 541-451-5090.
Now open Saturdays.
Bring the entire family to the 5th annual opening day of the Lebanon Downtown Farmers Market, May 23rd. We'll be open 2 to 6 p.m. every Thursday through October 24th on Main and Grant in downtown Lebanon. Help celebrate our opening day kickoff on May 23rd and enter to win our grand prize. Buy local, eat local, live local. Fresh food, music, and fun. Oregon Trail accepted. Log on to LebanonDowntownFarmersMarket.org to get involved and for more details, like us on Facebook.
Panic is not a successful investment strategy, but unfortunately, it's often the response of investors when the markets catch them off guard. Hi, I'm Doug Phillips, your Edward Jones financial advisor here in Lebanon. Let's work together to prepare for the market's unpredictable ups and downs. We'll focus on a long-term, disciplined approach to investing instead of overreacting to the daily headlines. Stop by my office at 2600 South Main Road in Lebanon or call 541-451-4000 to make a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
The news you need, smart talk, and just enough sports. That's what you'll get from News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm your host, Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. Real Estate Talk is really your only local resource on local radio for real estate information right here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. We're always here Saturday mornings, but occasionally, twice a month, the first and third Thursdays, I get to sneak here in the studio and sit in the Valley Talk time slot. So hopefully we're reaching a broader audience. If you've missed a show, though, or if you're looking for information about real estate market trends, we have all the stats, and they go all the way back to January 2007 when I first came on the air. So you can go back, and I actually go back every once in a while into those statistics myself when I'm trying to do like research projects on what's been happening in the market. So I find that useful. I hope you find it useful too. We also have audio clips for you available, and you can get that all at the website, www.kgal.com. So let's get into the interesting stuff. I know you're sick of listening to me. My guest, Alan Shell, Apex Landscape Maintenance. Alan, good morning and welcome to Real Estate Talk.
Good morning, Dave. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, I'm excited because, first of all, I know the listeners, and you are a listener of the show, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
The listener, sometimes it's just Dave doing listener questions or talking about some strange subject. So it's nice to hear another voice. It's nice to have somebody to converse with. So I'm glad you're here today. So let's get started a little bit. Tell us about your background, Alan. Tell us about how you started at Apex Landscape Maintenance, what your history and background and experience in that field is.
Well, we started as actually a smaller landscape maintenance company, and it's my wife and myself, and we saw an opportunity with this business, and so we started an LLC. We bought the assets and the contracts of an existing company, and that was been about a year and a half ago, and we're a small but growing LLC here in the Valley. We have contracts from Lebanon to Corvallis, and
now, do you work mostly with homeowners or businesses or both?
We have a pretty good mix of large commercial properties. We work with some management, property management companies that we do some apartment complexes, and then we do also work with just homeowners that have questions and needs. Some folks that are older can't really do what they used to do. You hear that a lot.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, I used to do this all the time, and now I can't. So we try to fill that niche and give people good service with honesty, integrity, and do a good job for them.
Well, in the time I've known you, I really believe that to be true. And I'm glad that you're here today, because I think you do a very good job at what you do, and you're building a great reputation here in the Mid-Valley. So let's share with our listeners a little bit, again, based on your experience, maybe some landscaping tips or some maintenance tips. So here it is, spring. Temperatures are warming up. We're in the 60s now. Is that change of season? The rains are not today, of course, going to stop, but supposedly they're going to be slowing down here. What types of maintenance activities should people be taking, homeowners specifically, in their particular lawns or yards?
Well, the way we look at it is, we basically start our season in October. So last October, we pull out the big leaf vac. We start vacuuming up all the leaves. We start doing our beds. And that lasts for, you're into February and March before you're done. For the regular homeowner, it's a good idea to get all the dead plant matter out of the beds. A lot of times you'll look at a property. We actually have one large commercial property right now that some of the barberry has started to get fungus and die. And it's, we've had the property about a year and a half, and a lot of the stuff takes a long time to show, but it is important to get into the beds and get the dead plant matter out.
So right now?
Right now, absolutely. You also look at lawns. This part of the country is great for moss. Anywhere that's moist during the wintertime, you can bet there's going to be moss on your roofs, in your turf, in your beds. That's another thing that we work with in the springtime. We put down stuff that discourages the moss and encourages the grass to begin to, get going again. It's kind of dormant in the winter, so you don't see a lot of growth. The mowing schedules slow down and decrease from once a week to, once every 2 weeks, or maybe even once every 3 weeks on some properties. And we work with the homeowners and property management companies to change up those schedules if they see something that they, we'd really like you to do this instead of, mow this week. So we work with people that way too. But yeah, this is the season to get in your beds, get down on your hands and knees, and get the weeds out.
In terms of my grass, my lawn, other than mowing it this time of year, is there any kind of things I should be looking at? Should I be using herbicides or weed control? Should I be fertilizing? What's the best thing for my lawn right now?
In the springtime, we do recommend to use some fertilizers. There's a variety of different things you can use. You mentioned chemicals or taking care of weeds and stuff. Some folks kind of have an aversion to putting chemicals down on their lawn, and there's other aspects too. If you have pets, sometimes they don't coexist very well with those chemicals. So I recommend in this time of year, we like to use a product with some iron in it and some nitrogen in it, and then the iron will help to mitigate the effects of the moss. It'll turn the moss all brown. Also with that, we just did a couple jobs where we would put down the iron, give it 7 to 10 days to do its work, and then go in with a thatcher and thatch all the dead and all the dead moss, anything that's in the turf. Thatch that all out and then overseed it with the existing grasses that are there. Mostly perennial rye is a favorite around here. And then give it a couple weeks and go in and mow it. And both jobs we've done in the last month and a half or so have looked really good.
Now, do you have any advice then for homeowners? And again, I'm thinking of lawns here, and I'm thinking of my lawn in terms of mistakes that I've made, mowing it too short or not short enough, and watering schedules.
Well, there is a danger of cropping it, getting it to where you've scalped it so that there's no you're looking at basically bare dirt.
Right. I mean, I was in the military for 23 years, so I kind of gave my lawn one year a high and tight, and that really was not an attractive look for me or for my lawn.
Right. Yeah, you can stress your lawn. You can kill it, especially if it's nice and sunny out. I like to keep them anywhere from about 2 inches to about 3 inches in height. The commercial properties, sometimes we mow a little bit higher because you have some irregularities in the ground. Sometimes you'll have trees that have been that have died and they've cut the tree off, but the stump is still there, so you don't want to hit those with your mower. And we've had that happen, incidentally.
It bends the blade pretty good, doesn't it?
It can cause some trouble with the mowers. So, but most of our residential and some of the smaller commercial properties will run at about 2.5 inches for the mowing height.
Okay. And what about watering schedules? I mean, I know it's possible to overwater your lawn, and in Albany specifically, where water is just so expensive, I think it's crazy to overwater your lawn. So it's also possible to underwater it too. How do you measure it? How do you figure out, how to do that? Correct.
Well, a lot of it does depend on the resident or the owner or the maintenance company, whoever you're dealing with, what they like, what they want to see. And that's usually how we go about figuring out watering schedules. And sometimes, and there's other aspects that go into it. If you keep it too wet, too long, and too many chemicals, you can encourage bugs. So we try to discourage things like grubs and crane flies and things like that. A good place to start this time of year, obviously it's raining today, but we had about 3 weeks of really nice weather. So we're running around scrambling, trying to get all our irrigation up and running. And I usually try to start out about 3 times a week for about 15 minutes on the turf. And beds, I dial it back some because you've got the bark to cover your dirt. Things won't dry out quite as quickly as it will in the turf. So that's a beginning point, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 15 minutes a day in the evenings when it's cooler.
So like in my yard, for example, I have, I think, 5 different zones in my sprinklers, the way they're set up. So that would be 15 minutes per zone you're talking about.
Per day.
Per day. For 3 days a week.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And a person can go out and you can actually, get down your hands and knees and prod your grass a little bit, and you can see whether or not you're getting enough water on it, or areas that are going to pool. You can maybe put a different size nozzle on your sprinkler head. Some areas may overwater. If you have trees that shade the yard part of the time, you can dial back those as
I've heard people say it should be so many inches, or like a half an inch of water every 3 days, or something like that. Have you ever subscribed to those types of theory? And how do you measure that if you do?
Well, I'm not real. How would you say it? Some of our properties that we deal with are on angles, so the amount of water you would put on a flat turf would be different than the water you would put
on a hillside.
So I don't prescribe so much to this much water per day or whatever, but I know that when you're looking at a hillside, and we have one property in Corvallis that's been difficult to get the watering right, because the water, if it waters too long, it'll run off and down in the gutter and be gone. It won't water your lawn,
which is very expensive to do.
Right, and then the lawn dries up, and you have all kinds of other problems too. So I've taken the approach that I look at what we're dealing with, and on properties like that, we'll run the timer for, say, 5 minutes every day.
Right. So you're letting it soak in a little bit more.
So yeah, and the water gets on the turf, and then it doesn't run off the turf.
Okay. So we have to take a break, but before we go, can you please give us your website and phone number?
Apex Landscape Maintenance. remaxandtegrity.com, and the number to reach the office is 541-409-2489.
Be nice when you call that number, because it's probably Bonnie that's going to answer.
That's my wife. Yeah,
Okay.
She's the office manager, and she takes care of all the incoming phone calls.
So we're going to take a break, folks. This is Real Estate Talk on 1580 KGAL. We're talking about landscape maintenance today.
The Osgood File, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit AutoOwners.com. This is Dave Ross on the CBS Radio Network. It's the eternal war between the family dog and the neighborhood mail carrier. This is Walkin' Man by Stephen Miller, a lifelong mail carrier and musician in Washington, D.C., who had his share of run-ins. According to the Postal Service's annual report, last year, 5,900 postal workers were attacked by dogs. The best and the worst cities. After this, from Charlie.
Why turn to a trusted choice agency for your insurance needs? Because a trusted choice insurance agency is an independent advocate that works for your interest, not for any one company. That allows them to find the coverage, the company, and the price to fit your needs. They pledge to treat you as a person, not a policy. When you're looking for a trusted friend in the industry for home, auto, life, or business insurance, turn to Trusted Choice. Visit trustedchoice.com today.
Where will you be when you remember you left the garage door open? Halfway to the office? Halfway around the world? Well, if you got a LiftMaster garage door opener with MyQ technology, you got nothing to worry about. With LiftMaster, you can use your smartphone or computer to open or close your garage door from anywhere. You can turn your house lights on or off, too. And LiftMaster garage door openers with battery backup keep your garage door working even if the power isn't. Find a dealer near you at liftmaster.com.
Every year, the post office ranks the best and worst cities for dog attacks. Worst city, according to the latest numbers, Los Angeles, with 69 attacks, followed by San Antonio with 42, and Seattle, the city famous for having more dogs than children, also with 42. Usually you can walk away with a few bite marks, but Eva Jackson, spokeswoman for the U.S. Postal Service in San Diego, says sometimes you can't.
Some of the bigger dogs are able to shake people around like a rag doll.
And it's rare, but in some cases, these attacks can be deadly.
In San Diego, in the last couple of years, we actually had 2 letter carriers that lost their lives due to dog-related incidents.
So the Postal Service, every year, tries to get out the message that you may think your dog is an absolute pussycat, but in fact, it's still a dog, and it gets territorial when strangers show up.
An attack could happen even with a very nice dog.
And yes, the rules allow carriers to skip your house if they feel threatened, but they would prefer that you just keep the dog under control long enough so they can deliver your bills and coupons and charity flyers and move on.
When a letter carrier comes to your home, we ask that you keep your dog inside, away from the door, in another room, or even on a leash. That's all we're asking.
By the way, congratulations to Wichita, Kansas, safest city for mail carriers. Only 20 bites last year. The Osgood File. Dave Ross on the CBS Radio Network.
Albany's Mennonite Home is pleased to have earned a perfect score from the state of Oregon surveyors, making Mennonite Home one of the top skilled nursing and rehabilitation facilities in Oregon, providing the highest possible quality of care. As part of the Mennonite Village Retirement Community, Mennonite Home provides the rehabilitation and therapy services for people of all faiths transitioning from a hospital stay to home. They work directly with each resident's healthcare, pharmacy, and insurance providers, making life easier for residents and their families. A wide range of resident programs are offered to meet individual interests, including outdoor gardening, scenic walks, cooking and baking, art and music, pet therapy, and brain fitness activities. Mennonite Home is where you'll find superior standards and amazing levels of devotion. The proof is in their reputation and resident satisfaction. Rooms are currently available. Call Geraldine at 541-928-7232 or visit MennoniteHome.com.
Farming is fun, especially when you have a tractor like the all-new Kubota Grand L40 from Lynn Benton Tractor. Choose from 8 new models, all with Kubota's powerful, fuel-efficient diesel engines and a choice of 3 productive transmissions, including the all-new innovative HST Plus. See how the Grand L40 can improve your acreage. Check one out at Lynn Benton Tractor's new location on McLean Street in Silverton, and as always along Highway 99E Tangent. Lynn Benton Tractor.
Get tomorrow's news tonight. John Batchelor, Sunday through Friday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We're live today talking with Alan Schell, the owner and operator, I suppose, is the right term, of Apex Landscape Maintenance. And before the break, we were talking about fertilizing in this time of the year and some things that homeowners can do. Alan, I kind of want to go off on a little tangent with this. I was making the analogy of people who try to cut their hair themselves or try to do something themselves that is really maybe a little bit beyond their capability, and they end up causing themselves bigger problems and ultimately costing themselves more money, time, or heartache. And here on Real Estate Talk, those are the things we try to get our listeners to protect them from making bad decisions. So I am sure in the world of landscape maintenance, I know there are projects that are beyond my ability. Can you give us some ideas, maybe of some of the things that you've seen that you've had to fix for other people, or projects that homeowners can do themselves, and maybe when they should look at hiring a professional?
Well, the sprinkler systems are one thing that might be a little bit beyond your average understanding. One thing I do think too is nowadays there's all kinds of city codes and stuff on what needs to be planted and how much stuff needs to be planted in your front yard and everything else. We just did a job at a large retailer here in town where they have some cedar trees that were planted within about 6 feet of the side of the split rock wall. And the regional manager had come out and said, well, we need these limbed up. They wanted them off the building. The trees were so close that the limbs were scraping the side of the building. And so how'd you say, 4 words: wrong tree, wrong place. A lot of times people have ideas of what they like and what they don't like and the colors that they want to see and things. As people are deciding what to plant, they need to consider just a few things like how much water these plants need. Some plants can take more water. Some plants can't take much water. Those two types of plants shouldn't be put together because you'll have one of them die. Also, shady areas. Some plants love full sun year-round, as much as they can get of it. Some plants don't. And other things go into it, too. The type of soil that they're in. We have a plant at our home that my father-in-law gave us, and it likes sandy soil. Well, I knocked the thing over and filled the thing with more of regular dirt, and now it's dead.
Good job.
As homeowners and people that are making decisions on this stuff, just consider a few things. We know that trees, and you've talked about this before on your show, trees close to the homes sometimes aren't such a good idea. And the root ball will tear things up, and the tree has to be cut off. And so that's some things that I've seen where people get into trouble with the plantings.
Yeah, I did that. Actually, I'm going to publicly blame my wife. I love my wife, but when we moved into our home in 2001, the builder would put a tree in the front yard. Right, that was part of their landscaping package. Every house had a tree in the front yard, and the backyards were left without any landscaping at all, which is pretty common with new construction. Well, one of the neighbors around the corner didn't like the tree that the builder or their landscaper had put in their front yard, and it was this crooked, ugly, Charlie Brown-looking maple tree. It was kind of warped. It came up and then went at a really strange angle. And they put another tree in there on their own, and they put this tree out in the front yard with a sign that says free. So my wife hauls this tree with a wheelbarrow to, and it's a sapling, right, to our backyard and plants it. And then just absolutely miracle grows the bejeebers out of it. So 10 years later, it is now the tallest tree in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful maple tree. It's lush and just absolutely beautiful, but it was planted 3 feet from the fence line in the corner. So it's all overgrown into the neighbors' yards. There's branches on their deck roof, and it was just this monstrosity of a tree. And eventually we're thinking, we got to move this thing because it's imposing on all the neighbors. Thankfully, a windstorm came and blew the thing down, but it was literally 40 feet high.
Yeah.
In 10 years. It just grew, just that miracle grow stuff, but it was planted way too close to the fence, and it was going to be a big expense to cut that tree down if we needed to. Thankfully, the wind took care of it for us last year.
Yeah, there's also a danger aspect to that, too, because the tree's going to come down somewhere if the wind blows it over. So, also, one other thing that comes to mind with the pruning of the plants, when we do decide what plants we want and where we want them, we have to understand a little bit of how to take care of them when they start to get misshapen and need to be cut back. Some plants take to shearing with a hedger just fine, and they don't have any problems with it. You can shape the things in just about any shape you want, into a hedge or a lollipop or whatever you like. Some plants don't. And I've seen evidence, especially on some of our commercial properties, where it's basically the wrong plant, and they treated it just like the ones you can shear. So now those plants, we're having to pull them out. And
so, do you actually consult? Can people call you and say, Alan, we're just moving into our home and we're going to be redoing our backyard. Will you come out and consult with us on what kind of plants we want to put where and where we should put the different plants that we want to put?
I can do that. It's not my specialty, but I understand a little bit about, if you do this, this is going to be a problem. I would recommend this. So we are not a CCB. We're not licensed with the Oregon CCB, so we don't do installs. We just maintain our properties as they are.
Okay. So you're a maintenance. And so let's talk a little bit about that. I, for example, have a number of listings that are vacant, where nobody lives in them, and I need to maintain the curb appeal. So I would call someone like you who would come out and maybe mow those lawns and keep things looking nice. How affordable or how inaffordable, how expensive is a service like that? What types of services do you provide, and what's kind of a range of costs?
Well, we try to be a full-service maintenance company, and there are several ways that we work with people, trying to fit in their schedule and what they can afford and stuff. We offer mowing, leaf removal and disposal, garbage pickup, pruning, weed control. We actually even do some gutter cleaning and pressure washing. A person who's just got a regular residential property that they want mowed and kept up on a biweekly schedule, which is 2 times a month, they're probably looking at around $75 to start. And if you want a weekly service, which every week you're about $95 to get going. And we do other things too. And
well, do you have like a one-time cleanup?
We also do for some of our property management companies. One there in Lebanon will give us a call out of the blue. They've got a vacant house. It's overgrown. It looks bad. Those usually are a per hour, per job type of thing. I think the last one we did was something like $35 or $40. So we try to be real reasonable and work with people to get done what needs done.
Okay. So actually, I do have a listener question for you, and this comes from Linda in Sweet Home. Linda asks, besides putting down landscape fabric and bark, what are some ways to reduce your property maintenance? And then she adds, especially in areas where there are trees. And Linda actually lives on an acreage property out in Sweet Home, and there are some very beautiful trees out there. So she's looking at some suggestions on how to reduce her maintenance.
Well, it sounds like she's done a good thing in getting something down underneath the bark. That will definitely increase the ability to keep the weeds down. We use chemicals oftentimes on larger areas where we can take the weeds out of the turf without any harm to the turf. Weeds are, and obviously everyone today probably can go out and see a lot of them. With the sun and rain, you're going to get that. Having the trees, having the trees limbed at some degree also helps. It can help the trees be healthier. It can take out the dead leaves, the dead branches, things that are dying in them. That will help you to keep your maintenance time on your property down. A variety of other things along fence lines. We'll typically go in. A lot of fence lines get overgrown. You can't get your weed whacker in there to trim the grass down. It grows up in the fence. It looks bad. We'll typically go in and use some glycol, some Roundup, and it'll take and run it right along the fence line. It'll take the grasses out of the fences, make things look cleaner and tighter and neater. So yeah, there's a variety of things you can do to get a handle on the property so that it isn't working you to death.
So do you have herbicide programs that you do also, right?
Yeah, we are licensed to spray herbicides, and so I have a chemical that I like to use in the springtime. It's called Trimec, and it is very effective in taking any broadleaf weeds that you have, dandelions and clover and things of that nature, and it won't kill them like Roundup will and make a big brown spot. It will kill them slowly so that the leaves of the weed kind of curl back on themselves, and it lets the grass come in. So from appearance, you don't see big brown dead areas in your lawn. A lot of people find that very appealing. So we use that. I also, like I said, I use Roundup. And the Trimec, usually, I believe it's once a year you can apply it. And we basically apply it to the whole area. It's not a spot treatment. Roundup, then you can go back in any stubborn areas, blackberries, things like that. You can go back in and hit them extra hard with some Roundup and maybe a mixture of Roundup and Trimec.
So, and that's the last thing I want to talk about is blackberries, because I have run into so many properties, especially rural properties, and blackberries. I know some people like blackberries, but they so tend to overgrow and take over everything and can become a real nightmare. So any ideas about what people can do maybe to control their blackberries, or once they've got a blackberry problem, is there anything you can do to solve it?
Well, it's something, they didn't get there overnight and they won't be gone overnight. A person can go out and whack them down and they'll be back. So we actually do have a large property that we're working on right now with some folks, and we're using a 2 or 3 pronged approach. We started out by going in, and it's kind of a complicated area because there's a pond next to it, and so we've taken the approach that we're going to whack all this stuff down, and we know it's going to come back, and right now the sun's out, and so all the little blackberry plants are going crazy, and we've went back in and put Trimec on the little plants that are coming up. We'll go back in again and we'll whack those down, and then we will pile them all up and we'll burn everything, and we'll look at it again probably in the middle of summertime, see where we are, and begin to overseed the area. And we're not at all convinced that this will be the end of it, because we know how blackberries are. So but yeah, a person over time, if they keep at it long enough, will be able to take back areas that have been taken over. And obviously, people do like blackberries, and we're probably the blackberry capital of the world, it seems like. So we do offer that service. If anyone's interested in having somebody take a look at it and take things out, they can get a hold of us at Apex Landscape Maintenance, and give my wife a call at 541-704 8451.
Yeah, my answer would have just been to bring a goat out. So, because I think that's, but you were telling me that's a bad thing too. Because
I mentioned that a lot of times the blackberries actually start because of animal droppings, because they like the berries too, and so they'll be spread all over the place by birds. You know, you might come out one morning and find them in your bed and wonder, how did they get in my beds or on my house? Well, it's usually animals that have left the droppings there. So they can grow anywhere, anytime, and if you're not careful, they'll take over. So,
and we don't want that. So call Apex Landscape Maintenance. And again, give them the number one more time.
ApexLandscapeMaintenance.com or 541-409-2489.
Well, great. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on Real Estate Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with today's Real Estate Market Update. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
This is Rich Abers, Service Manager of Power Buick GMC, and I'm here to tell you that not only is Power Buick GMC the #1 local dealership to purchase a new or used vehicle, we are your General Motors service headquarters. Our GM-trained and ASE-certified technicians service Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Saturn vehicles. In or out of warranty. Extended warranties, no problem. Cars not GM built, no problem.
Call Power today at 541-757-1415 on the corner of 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis.
In mid-sized companies, the left hand needs to know what the right hand is doing. When they do, business can take on a whole new rhythm, especially with IBM's Smart Cloud Engage Advanced. It combines communities, web meetings, and file sharing with business-grade email in one security-rich environment, making it the smarter way to collaborate. Register now for your 60-day free trial at ibm.com/engines/engage.
Dude, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, avoiding a ticket has a high degree of difficulty. Real though? No matter what trick you pull to appear wearing one. The front side shoulder sham, a gnarly right cross fakie, or even the seriously wicked smooth glide shifty. Cops make sure each trick finishes with a busted tail grab. That's harsh, man. Pulling a fakie will get you in real trouble. There's no trick to avoiding a seatbelt ticket. Day and night, click it or ticket.
Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Summer's almost here. Do you have a plan for your child? This summer, adventures abound with the Boys and Girls Club of the Greater Sandy Am. Trips to Newport, Splash, Foster Lake, OMSI, and more. Plus athletic camps for soccer, volleyball, and basketball. Tons of fun and a professionally supervised, safe, and engaging atmosphere is available for your 1st through 8th grader. Any day of the week, we're here to serve. Call 541-258-7105. To learn more, visit us at bgcgreatersantiam.org.
Cascade West Senior Services Foundation is back again with the Live Well, Age Well Health Expo this Saturday from 9 to 3. Learn how to stay healthy after 50. Live music, free admission, free health screening, medication consultants, resources, demonstrations, presentations, and prizes. Log on to agewellexpo.org or call Jill Ingalls at 541-497-7481. Learn how to stay healthy after 50 at the Live Well, Age Well Health Expo this Saturday from 9 to 3 at the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center. It's free.
I'd like you to pause just for a moment and consider the health of your best friends. You see, Paws Animal Hospital is now open in Lebanon. Dr. Johnson and her staff love animals, and you'll feel that love from the first time you meet them. Paws Animal Hospital uses the latest technology. From in-house blood screening to digital radiography, you'll have confidence in the treatment of your pet. To call for an appointment or to learn more, call 541-570-1022. 570-1022 for Paws Animal Hospital.
Jim Bohannon, weeknights on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. We're going to wrap up the show today, as always, with the real estate market update. We'll begin in Corvallis, where inventory is up 1 from last week. Today, 136 active listings. Average asking price is $358,867. 121 homes have sold in the last 3 months. That's up 2. The currently months of inventory in Corvallis, 3.32 months. Median sold price over the past 90 days is down, today at $256,400. The average $156.44 per square foot. And homes that sell spend an average of 97 days on the market from listing to close of sale. In Lebanon, only 71 homes are available for sale. That is a move up of 2 from last week. The median asking price is also up today at $100,000. $154,900. Over the last 90 days, 49 homes have sold. That's even with last week. And the median sold price also flat at $129,900. At $92.04 per square foot, homes spend an average of 109 days on the market, and there's currently 4.35 months of inventory available. Finally, to Albany, where inventory has moved up just one with 210 active residential listings. The average asking price is also up today at $230,888. 137 homes have sold in the past 90 days. That is down 7 from the last report. The median sales price is flat, however, today at $164,900. And homes are spending an average of 124 days on the market from listing to close of sale. The average dollar per square foot value in Albany is up at $105.25, and there is currently 4.6 months of inventory available. So as you can see, the numbers are fairly robust from what we've seen, steady. A lot of meat on the bone, I think. The big challenge in the market right now is a stunning lack of inventory. And we're all expecting and hoping that as the summer approaches, as the end of the school year begins and people are looking to relocate, that we'll start to see some increase in the inventory numbers. Because that would be a good thing. The bottom line, folks, right now, where's the opportunity in the market? The opportunity in the market is still very strong for buyers because the value points are low. We are past the bottom, however, and things are starting to creep up. Interest rates remain incredible, in my humble opinion, and are expected to remain so for some time. But there is competition out there for buyers. So if you are looking for kind of the standard homes that are on the market in any given area, within the sweet spot of the market in any given area in terms of the price, there's going to be competition, and you may be dealing with multiple offers, which means there's also an opportunity for sellers who can afford to list and sell their homes in those particular sweet spots. If you want to find out where the sweet spots in the market is, I'm going to encourage you to go and look on the KGAL, the Real Estate Talk Facebook page. I post that there every week, and one of the charts that I post is a months of inventory or absorption rate chart by price category. So you can look and see where the opportunities are for you as a seller and where the most competition is going to be for you as a buyer. So I would say pay attention to that. There are some wonderful opportunities in the market, and if you are thinking of selling and you are in the right price range for your market, now really is a great opportunity. Well-conditioned, well-placed homes that are priced correctly are selling in almost near record time. If you're thinking of buying a home, I do want to make my my one more pitch for Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services. They do a tremendous job in helping buyers get educated about the home buying process. It's important to have those resources to help you make good decisions. And if you're starting the process now, www.w-nhs.org, take the class. Again, for the radio listeners, if you've heard about it on KGAL, let me know. As long as you're not working with another agent, as long as you're not committed to another agent, you want to take the class, I will pay the tuition for you. Finally, Homes for Heroes. Again, a national program that offers rewards to local heroes for their services when buying, selling, or refinancing real estate. When a hero works with an affiliated real estate professional and or an affiliated lender, they receive a reward from the national organization after closing. Heroes in our community include, but are not limited to, active duty and retired military, police and peace officers, first responders, firefighters, nurses, and other medical professionals, as well as teachers and educators. And that includes faculty and staff at our schools as well. If you are a hero or if you know a hero who serves our community, send them to www.homesforheroes.com to sign up. Service deserves its rewards, folks. You'll find us here every Saturday morning talking real estate. Hopefully we're talking about the issues that are important to you. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. If you've got a question, send it in. We're on 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, and
the Mid-Valley home of Smart Talk. This is News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.